So I've had this box in my workshop for a few years now. I keep saving it for a video. It's finally time to do the video. I got it in 2017 at a barn that I was helping tear down. And the guy let me take a bunch of stuff. A neat little crate. A little glimpse into whatever his father had in his toolboxes in the 80s. The guy was in his 30s, maybe 40s, and his father and grandfather were the ones that had the barn, and he'd never really been in it. So most of the stuff was kind of like a time capsule since the 90s, maybe. About then. Enamels, oil base, magic coater, Worcester. That's a Worcester. Look at that. Made in China, or China Bristol, I guess. Definitely no website name. Now that's a question. China Bristol. Does that mean it was made in China, or is that like an actual term, like Chinaware, like very fine? Hard to tell. Oh, there's more. One-inch small areas touch-up. These have been used before, I think. 1109 cuckoo, whatever it is. Interesting. Zip ties that might not be too useful. It's hard to tell. Maybe we can do a test of them. They seem strong enough. I'm sure they're not much different. And I'm sure since they've been in this box, they're not UV damaged or anything. So that's good. Walmart, 37 cents. Good luck finding something for that cheap at Walmart anymore. GE 1977. That's quite old. We have chemical work gloves. They seem pretty clean. Oh, they're a bit crunchy. Oh no, that was just some little bug larvae that was dried up in there. So I'd assume that these are cloth. Yeah, I assume these are cloth that have been rubber dipped. You can tell they're from the inside. Oh. Neat. There were two of these boxes. One was marked explosives. I think he worked at a mine or something. And the person that wanted that box didn't want the stuff in it, so we shoved that stuff in here, if I recall. Or maybe I just kept those separate. It's difficult to tell. You know, these still feel really... Well, they don't feel like they're cracking or anything. So I'll keep them. One thing that I've noticed is that, well, I have a raincoat from the 1970s from Shell Oil Refinery. My great-grandfather got it for working there for like 30 years or whatever. And that raincoat from the 70s is still fine. And it was designed to withstand oil and such on it. Now this is probably oil, like petroleum gloves or whatever. And they're probably a little bit more pricey, and they've lasted. They aren't sticky or anything. So there really could be something to that. That maybe stuff designed for like more industrial use back then still lasts. No labeling. So these will go into my electronics bin. General Electric extended service 120 watt or 130 volts. Weird. Odd to hear it sing. Odd to see it saying 130 volts. Wire. Well, that's always useful. That'll go into the electronics bins. Extra fast setting epoxy. Work time 3 to 5 minutes. Ooh, it's kind of tacky on the back. Does more repair jobs. Hard man. Take a look at that. Looks like there's a pinhole there. That's neat. Epoxy and a... Yeah, this is definitely some 1980s stuff. Maybe some 1970s stuff. Little toolbox time capsule. More hardware for the electrical bin. Avery. Self-adhesive removable labels. $1977. No price. No price. No label on this. So just a generic tool. Oh. Oh! There's more. Maybe we can do an experiment of testing out this 40-year-old epoxy. Could be cool. Another pack. I like this idea of having epoxy in a little paper container. Although I could see it causing a lot of messes. Oh, another 1109 Cuckoo. That is really, really soft. I like that. I actually have a chain bucket, so I'll just put this in the chain bucket, you know. That's easy enough. Phone line. Ah, phone line. Oh, something was living inside of that little critter. Or maybe it's just... Oh, that's just more like collected gunk. I don't really need this phone line, so I'm going to pitch that, but still looks funny. More epoxy. Oh. Oh. I never heard of this brand before. Central Hardware. Must have been a hardware store I didn't know about. It looks like that might be actually quite older, like 1960s, 1970s. Hard to tell. Distributed by Central Hardware Company, St. Louis, Missouri. It appears Central Hardware was a store chain in the Midwest, and it went bankrupt in 1995, so yeah, this is definitely older than 1990s. It's 1980s, 1970s. Now these are interesting. They appear to be some sort of they're like construction quality, and yet they look like those things where you have receipts and you stick them on there and almost get your hand. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. So yeah, there must be some actual use. Probably not penetrating something like a nail, but probably for like sticking something like, I don't know, a hay bale or something. Oh, another brush. It's the same type. So now I have 4 of those, which is nice. You know, I'm actually going to hang those up right now because I can actually use those. There we go. Now this is odd. Along with this, I find this, which appears to fit onto there. But that doesn't make any sense because the other ones don't have it. And I Google Lion Industries, Chicago Incorporated, Schaumburg, Illinois. And I find a picture of that box. Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense. So it just goes on there. Stainless steel shim stock. Flash. Oh, it's flashing. Look at that. Yeah, it's flashing. That fits with the theme of the looking like a building material type thing. I've seen these somewhere, but I can't quite recall them. That's actually quite cool. I'll stick that inside. I like how boxes used to be so simple. I really like that. And I mean, that's really, really simple. (1973) is the latest date. Look at that. Selfix, self-gluing hooks. I doubt the glue is still functional on that. Oh, there's lettering on here. So let's see if this has any identification. No. It appears this is before the era of having like brand names on the bags. Yeah, would have been on there. Kind of tedious to put sharp things into bags. You know what? I just realized something. Like, wow, holy shit. Somebody bought this. I think the guy's dad bought this stuff in the 70s and never used it. And this reminds me of, there's a few things like odd screws and such that I bought for the workshop project back in 2018. And turns out they weren't needed, like the little nail plates that didn't quite work with this old really hard wood. And those things are just they're gonna be lingering around forever. I should just throw them away. Holy shit. I'm dealing with somebody else's unneeded purchase. Kind of put things into perspective, you know. I cannot find anything about these online. They're so simple and simplistic that I don't think that they're like a receipt spike to put receipts on, but who knows? They might be a hardware thing, but then again, this box also does have things like hooks and whatnot, so, and self-adhesive removable labels and whatnot, so who knows? Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and pitch that one. It has a pinhole for one of these in it. Maybe we should go ahead and test it out. Why not, eh? Alright, I made my decision. I wish to bond this metal with this wood. 2 pieces of trash. Let's see if we can bond it. Fold, cut or tear, squeeze out, mix thoroughly and apply. Fold, cut or tear, squeeze out, Ooh, this feels weird. Oh, it's like yellowish. Eee, what a mess. Oh, it smells like bad, like rotten fish. That's disgusting. Oh. Work time 3 to 5 minutes at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see. Amazingly enough, it looks like they still make this stuff. It's like $2 a pack. Honestly, that's not too bad. That's nice. Because it is a nice little pack. I could see this being quite useful. Wow. It's been sitting for about half an hour. And it's hardening up. I'll give it a few days, maybe a week to actually cure though. It's a bit tacky. This is the first time I've ever used a 2-part epoxy in my entire life. I want to buy some new ones of those because it's actually pretty cool. So, this crate might actually be kind of cool for all my new old stock items. Like I have solenoids and fan belts and all them that are in the new 1960s, 1950s, 1990s packaging. So this could be like a neat little storage method for that stuff. Similar to my Shell, like refrigerant cans or whatever up there. Just stuff that I find. These, I don't really need. I won't pitch them just yet, but I don't want them just like poking stuff, like ruining my epoxy. So I'll leave them in here for now, but later on, if I don't have a use and if nobody wants them, I'll just pitch them because I got 30 of these. There's no real reason to keep them. This I'll put in the garbage, I'll put into the garden stuff. I'll just implement, that could be useful. Light bulb. Let's see if it works. I'll put it in with the light bulbs. Something like a light bulb I can just use, because if I ever did want something that was like from that era for some display or something, I'm sure I could just find a new old stock light bulb with the box from the 60s on eBay, because that stuff's everywhere. Just like this. This stuff is just everywhere. Now look at that. 80mm for mortars. So is that some military surplus box repurposed? I guess so. That's neat. That lot, KN1138. I bet some military or whatever nerd can track that down. So this works out really well. This went from being a box that was just for an upcoming video that I never ended up doing until now, to now, this is the box where I'll put new old stock stuff that's kind of neat. And you know, a lot of the 1970s stuff, it might be kind of neat to have like a store display of like a hardware store from the 70s. I don't know, but it won't keep me from using it. I just might as well keep it together, anything of the older, neater type. So now this is part of the workshop organization mechanism, not so much just something occupying space. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.